in living standards for Londoners. Recent analysis has found that household incomes in the UK, including for Londoners, are around £1,500 a year lower than predicted before the EU referendum in 2016, with the UK having experienced the sharpest income growth slowdown of any economy for which the OECD published data. The Resolution Foundation has also shown how the UK has gone from one of the fastest growing economies to the slowest post-referendum. How damaging would a no-deal Brexit, being advocated by both potential ex-Conservative Party leaders and thus Prime Minister, how damaging would that be to those Londoners who've already seen rising costs without the same rise in pay?
Extremely worrying. I mean, the 2 points I'd make is, one of the things the Resolution Foundation also said was, they said yesterday, over the past 2 years, UK households have experienced a near stagnation in living standards, even worse than the income hit experienced during the early 1990s recession. That's the facts from the Resolution Foundation. The second point is just, look, I'm all in favour of optimism. I'm all in favour of speaking up for the positivities of our country. But it's got to be borne out by evidence. And I don't see the evidence how a no-deal situation benefits our economy. Put aside the dangers to the NHS, schools, construction, with the issues around the labour market, but it's a real source of concern. And I think if you think things have been not great over the last couple of years vis-à-vis austerity, I dread to think of what will happen if we have a no-deal situation on October 31st.
Well, today the Office of Budget Responsibility are predicting that a no-deal Brexit will push the UK into recession next year. So would you also agree that the government must secure a deal that works for London to avoid wrecking our economy, or revoke Article 50 if they can't do that? Should we not remain in the single market and the customs union, as this is what businesses in London want in order to keep bureaucracy to a minimum and have access to skills? A failure to secure a good deal in negotiations with the EU would deal a hammer blow to London's economy, wouldn't it? Hitting the poorest and most vulnerable the hardest.
Absolutely. I make this point. Look, let's assume Boris Johnson is a brilliant negotiator. No. Let's give him the benefit. I think he can't be worse than Theresa May. Right? So let's assume that. Now he's got a choice. He can either work against an artificial deadline of October 31st with summer recess. We know Parliament's going to be in recess. We know the EU aren't around to trade with him. So you've got a deadline of October 31st, which could lead to panic. Or you can, he's a great negotiator, right? Withdraw Article 50. You have all the time to do a good deal with the EU that benefits us, benefits them, and then reserve Article 50 if you still want to leave. And that seems to be a sensible thing to do. And that's what my advice to the Prime Minister would be. Look, withdraw Article 50. You can negotiate with the EU. You're a brilliant negotiator, according to these guys. Get a good deal with the EU, then reserve it and leave. What's the problem with that?